Hello cuties, hope you are fine today and have a great Wednesday. Well, once again I'm recording this video for you, because actually maybe some of you are in colleges, universities or in schools of course. So and maybe the subject which I'll talk today. This video will help you all to learn some things about you wanna know well enough about this subject for your tests in your schools, etc. Well, yesterday I had a conversation on my inbox of my Facebook with one special brilliant brother. I wanna. And while we were talking, he started teasing me, saying the word which some of us know it because who learned it before knows the importance of it. So, first, I want to say thanks to my special genius and brilliant brother who gave me this genius idea. That's the subject which I'll talk today in this video. It's called it as science. And I'll explain everything about it for who doesn't know well enough about this subject. So, first thing, as you know, the science is a word came from the Latin word scientia, and that means knowledge, which is a systematic enterprise that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe. In an older and closely related meaning, science also refers to a body of knowledge itself, of the type that can be rationally explained and reliably applied. A practitioner of science is known as a scientist. Well, as you all as you all know. So, let's proceed with this. In the classical antiquity, science as a type of knowledge as closely linked to the philosophy during the Islamic Golden Age. The foundation for the scientific method was laid, which emphasized experimental data and reproducibility of its results. In the West, during the early modern period afterwards, science and philosophy of nature, as I talked yesterday in my last video, were sometimes used interchangeably, and not until the 17th century, natural philosophy, which today is called as natural science, was considered as a separate branch of philosophy in the West. Maybe maybe I'm going fast with my words because I'm trying to find the correct words for make this video turn very special for you all, and I want you all to understand this because maybe in your schools, universities and colleges you will need to talk about this, and maybe your teachers of course will, well, if they know better. Well, this is just my thing, what I think and what I know well enough because I studied. Yes, I studied and I left my studies. I finished them. Yeah, so I know everything a little bit about science. So maybe this can be important for you all. Well, in despite in modern usage, science most often refers to a way of pursuing knowledge. I'm sorry, not only the knowledge itself. It's also often restricted to those branches of study that seek to explain the phenomena of the natural universe. Well, in the 17th and 18th centuries, scientists increasingly sought to formulate knowledge in terms of laws of nature, such as Newton's laws of motion. You know Newton's, a scientist, of course. And all over the course of the 19th century, the word science became increasingly associated with the scientific method itself, as a disciplined way to study the natural world, including physics, chemistry, geology, and biology, etc. As you all know, it's in the 19th century also that the term scientist was created by the naturalist theologian William Whelel. You know, maybe some of you know William. to distinguish uh, those who sought knowledge of nature from those who sought of types of knowledge. If you don't understand something, just ask me on my inbox on my Facebook. I'll answer all your questions. So, proceeding with this, by the late Middle Ages, especially in Italy, there was an influx of Greek and scholars from the collapsing Byzantine Empire. Yes. Well, maybe you will hear about these scientists, so I'm talking about them too. Copernicus formulated an heliocentric model of the solar system, unlike the geocentric model of Ptolemy Almagest. So all the aspects of scholasticism were criticized in the 15th and the 16th centuries. One author who was notoriously persecuted was Galileo. You all know this man too, this great scientist, who made innovative use of experiment and mathematics. However, the persecution began after Pope Urban VIII blessed Galileo to write about the Copernican system. You all know what I mean. Galileo had used the arguments from the Pope, P-O-P-E, and put them in the voice of the same Plato in the work Dialogue concerning the two chief world systems, which caused it a big offense to him. A big offense. I don't know why, but yes, caused a big offense. So in the northern Europe, Portugal, Spain, that countries of the Europe, the new technology of printing press was widely used to publish many arguments, including some that disagreed with church dogma. René Descartes and Francis Bacon published philosophical arguments in favor of a new type of non-Aristotelian science. Well, Descartes argued that mathematics could be used in order to study nature, as Galileo had done, and you all know that. And Bacon emphasized the importance of experiment over contemplation, and Bacon questioned the Aristotelian concepts of normal causes and the final causes, and promoted the idea that science should study the laws of simple natures, such as heat, rather than assuming that there's any specific nature or formal cause of each complex type of thing. So, guys, this new modern science began to see itself as describing laws of nature. This was updated to approach to the studies in the nature was seen as mechanistic, mechanic things. Bacon also argued that science should aim for the first time at practical inventions, create new things of technologies and other things. Well, for the improvement of all human life. So now the data from the famous Michelson-Morley experiment that refuted 19th century theory of light bearing, either as the medium that had to be a fluid in order to fill space more rigid than still in order to support the high frequencies of light waves. You know what they are, or maybe some of you know what they are, as well as measureless and without viscosity, of it would visibly affect the orbits of the other planets, of course. Well, in resumed by myself in the 17th and 18th centuries, the project was modernity, as had been promoted by Bacon and Descartes, led to rapid scientific advance and the successful development of a new type of natural science, mathematical methodically, experimental, and deliberately innovative. No, now I can talk about Newton and Leibniz succeeded in developing a new physics. Now it's referred to as the Newtonian physics, which could be confirmed by experiment and explained using mathematics, and also incorporated terms from Aristotelian physics, but now being used in a new non-theological way. For example, energy and potential, electricity and that kind of things, of course. That's more than modern versions of Aristotelian, energy and potency. Well, in Bacon's style, he assumed that different types of things all work according to the same general laws of nature, with no special formula or final causes for its type of thing. Well, it's during this period that the word science gradually became more commonly used to refer to a type of pursuit of a type of knowledge, especially knowledge of nature. So, coming close in the meaning to the old term natural philosophy. So, both John Herschel and William Wilhelm systematized methodology. The later coined the term scientists when Charles Darwin published it on the origin of species. Let's try to find the great world. So he established descent with modification as the prevailing evolutionary, evolution of the science. Well, so explanation of biological complexity. Well, and as I know, history of nature selection provided a natural explanation of how species originated. But this only gained wild acceptance a century later. John Dalton developed the idea of atoms, the laws of thermodynamics, and the electromagnetic theory were also established in the 19th century, which raised new questions which could be not easily to be answered using Newton's framework. Well, now I'll talk the other great scientist, Albert Einstein. So his theory of relativity and the development of quantum mechanics led to the replacement of Newtonian physics with a new physics which contains two parts that describe different types of events in nature. The extensive use of scientific innovation during the wars of this century led to the space race, increased the life expectancy, and the nuclear arms race giving a widespread public appreciation of the importance of modern science. So guys, just don't forget this quote. The human condition is the most important frontier of the natural sciences. Now, what can I say more? There are different schools of thought in philosophy of science. So the most popular position is empiricism, which claims that knowledge is created by a process involving observation and that scientific theories are the result of generalizations. Yes, I said well, from such observations. So guys, this is necessary because the number of predictions of those theories makes it definitive, which means that they cannot be known from the finite amount of evidence using deductive logic only. There exist many versions of empiricism, which exists in today, of course. So, what can I say more? Empiricism has stood in contrast to rationalism. The position originally associated with Descartes, which holds that knowledge is created by the human intellect, not by observation. Popper, the scientist Popper, rejected the way that empiricism describes the connection between theory and observation. Also, he claimed that theories are not generated by observation, but that observation is made in the light of theories, and that the only way a theory can be affected by observation is when it comes in conflict with it. Well, guys, to finish this thing, I'll talk about electricity. That makes part of science, of course. So about the electricity, I can say that Dr. William Gilbert invented the new Latin word electricus, from electron, the Greek word for amber, as you all know. For who are Greek people, maybe all of you maybe know that. So Dr. William undertook a number of careful electrical experiments, in the course of which he discovered many substances other than electricity, such as sulfur, wax, gas extracts, etc., were capable of manifesting electrical properties. He also discovered that the heated body lost its electricity, and that moisture prevented the electrification of all bodies, due to the now well-known facts impaired the insulation of such bodies. So he also noticed that electrified substances attracted all other substances, of course, indiscriminately, whereas a magnet only attracted iron. So electricity is attracted by metal, as you know, metal things. Well, by investigating the forces on a light metallic needle, basing on a point as my sight view, he extended the list of electric bodies and found also that many substances, including metals and natural magnets, showed no attractive forces when rubbed. So guys, the scientist Robert Boyle also worked frequently at the new science of electricity and added several substances to William Gilbert's list of electrics. So he left a detailed account of his researches under the title of Experiments on the Origin of Electricity. Well, in 1675, stated that the electric attraction and repulsion can act across a vacuum. So one of his important discoveries was that electrified bodies in a vacuum would attract like substances, and this can indicate that the electrical effect did not depend upon the air as a medium. Okay, guys, electricity was followed in 1660 by Otto von Guericke, who invented an early electrostatic generator. As well, maybe heard this in documentaries in television, radios and television, of course. So by the end of the 17th century, too many researchers had developed practical means of generating electricity by friction with electrostatic generators. But the development of electrostatic machines didn't begin in earnest until the 18th century, when they became fundamental instruments in the studies about the new science of electricity. These first usages of the word electricity is ascribed to Sir Thomas Browne. Yes, I said Thomas Browne. You all know who is he. In his 1646 work. This name it's very strange, this pseudodoxia epidemic. So guys, this is what I really know about science, and this is what I really learned about in my school and my high school, guys. Maybe you all will learn this, and hope this video will help you all to try to, well, to understand a little bit about science and electricity. The electricity is very connected to the science of today. As I told yesterday, and I will tell again, subway trains and the trains are moved by electricity, at least here in my city, yes. It is, but there's a little problem. I will give an example. As you know, high-speed trains have a limit of some kilometers. So I will give an example here of the high-speed train here in Porto City, the Alpha Pendular, as I posted a video before of it, showing it of course. So Alpha Pendular can reach 325 kilometers by hour. So if it exceeds the speed limit, what can happen? It can happen that the electricity can shout, guys, can shout fast, and it can make the train, the high-speed train, stop suddenly and make it stay without light inside, or it can provoke systematic what that word, well, it can destroy the system of the train. But few minutes after 10 or 25 minutes, the train comes to normal. So the electricity, as I know, if it reaches too many speed than the normal one, it can happen that the electricity can shoot. In that case, I don't have another word, so I said shoot. The electricity shoot fast and makes the train stop suddenly and rudely. Well, so guys, electricity has too many potency. So when you see a plug, you think it's a normal plug. Yes, it's normal. Yes, in our lives, yes, it is normal. But guys, just be careful when we touch something electric as machines, subway trains of course. So try to prevent to touch it, okay? It has too much potency, and the electricity can kill us, can kill you, and can kill me, can kill all people with its potency. So guys, hope this video helped you a lot, because I tried to explain everything to you all. You know, I love you all and I love to help with something. Well, this video is finished today. Guys, if you have some questions, some doubts, well, maybe you all know my Facebook, so you can send me inboxes with your questions and with your doubts, okay? Guys, I wish you all the best for you, and hope you will have the rest of a great Wednesday, okay guys? Don't forget to smile and believe in you, in what you do, okay? So guys, I wanna say bye, okay? Keep smiling and keep following my videos, okay? I'll be thankful to all of you. So have a great Wednesday, guys. Tomorrow I'll make the next one video. I don't know yet about the subject which I'll talk, but when I know, I say something, okay? So Bye guys, my little cuties. See you in the next video.